Hi, I'm Kelly Castle. You are watching Culinarily Speaking, and today we are going to be doing sugar cookie wreaths. But instead of sugar cookie dough, we are going to use shortbread. I hope you like it. Shortbread, because it has so few ingredients, you really have to focus on the quality of what you use. So in this case, we're using Kerrygold butter, which is so good. We're using homemade vanilla extract with real vanilla bean. And of course, good powdered sugar, good flour. But the two stars are the butter and the vanilla. This guy who we like to call the bumblebee, because he sounds like a bumblebee when he gets going, he is a lot smaller than what I'm used to now. Not too long ago I had a bakery where I was using a mixer that was about twice this size on a usual basis. But this guy, I first got him when I was away at college and I had saved up money from working and I got a gift certificate, a coupon to go to a local store, and it was something like a 40% off, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go get me a new mixer, and it was right when they were coming out with all the colors, and so I was so proud. I think I spent about $300, or at least it felt like it at the time, and I came home and I showed my mom, and she was like, I can tell that you're my daughter. You use your money to buy baking equipment. Now you like to scrape down to incorporate everything, to make sure everything is evenly mixed. So we'll do this a couple of times. Here's what it should look like once your ingredients are perfectly incorporated. Now it's time to start adding the vanilla, and homemade vanilla is best. And you whip it in again, just until it is perfectly fluffy. Then you'll add some powdered sugar. And no need to sift on this one. And just slowly mix now. You don't want all the powdered sugar to be rupturing over the edge. Once your powdered sugar is thoroughly mixed, you'll be able to see a difference in color of the mixed components. You can see it's a little bit lighter than it was previously. Then you'll begin to add your sifted flour and baking powder mixture to it, very slowly. I use 1/4 cup just to make sure I'm not overloading the capacities of this tiny little mixer. Oh, you'll need to stop the mixing and scrape down the sides every now and again to make sure you are getting everything completely mixed in. You don't want dry spots on this guy. To shape the dough, we're going to begin by cutting it roughly in half. I'm having a little bit of a hard time with cutting it with a rubber spatula. And then you'll take half the dough and shape it into a loose ball, like so. Place the ball on one of your sheets of parchment paper and pat it down flat, and top it with another piece of parchment paper. Once you have the other piece of parchment paper on, we're going to begin to roll out the dough. I know it hasn't rested yet. We're going to be doing that after we roll it out. We want it to be about 1/4 inch thick. If it's not perfect, don't sweat it. If you're having a tough time rolling it out, simply peel off the top parchment, flip it over, and peel off the bottom parchment, and try rolling it again. Sometimes this helps loosen it up without adding more flour to it. There we go. Time to pop it in the fridge for 30 minutes. While we're waiting on the cookie dough to rest, we're going to start making our glaze. This is a little push pop type of measuring thing, which makes it very handy for measuring out sticky ingredients like corn syrup, honey, peanut butter, and pop. The method on this shortbread glaze recipe is so insanely easy. Literally just measure out everything, dump it in a bowl, and whisk it together until the desired consistency is achieved. If you want it drier, better for detailed piping, don't put in as much water. If you want it looser, put in a little more. This glaze will also keep for several days at room temperature, so you can make it well ahead. To make a sugar cookie wreath, we're going to start with a base. So you're going to need a ring that is an approximate size of what you would like. And then you're going to need to cut out as many leaves as will fit to make a nice looking wreath on top of your base. For our base, we ended up using a bowl outline and then cutting out the center. You want shortbread cookies to be perfectly golden brown when they come out of the oven. This will ensure the perfect texture for your final dessert. Once your cookies are cool, you can begin piping them. This can take a while, so I recommend leaving plenty of time to do it. And it can take an hour or upwards of an hour for them to dry completely. Once your glaze is dry, you can begin watercoloring with your food coloring. Now, I like using vodka to dilute because vodka evaporates quickly. And I like using spoons to hold my paint wells, as it were, because they are very easy to clean up and you can always add more wells as you need them. And you can check for the strength of the color against a spare piece of paper towel. Here, it looks a little dark for what I want. So I'm going to add a little bit more vodka. This seems like a good consistency for painting now. So now I can begin applying it to my holly leaf. I'm just trying to cover the whole thing so that no white is showing, or off-white as the case may be with the strength of my vanilla in this glaze. Once your first glaze is dry, then you can take a fine tip brush and put it directly in to the food coloring to get a darker pigment. And brush away the details to your heart's content. I'm doing the little veins on a holly leaf here. Then you'll need to let it dry again. So now it's time to assemble the great puzzle that we've all been putting together. First you start with your base and you loosely start arranging all the holly leaves that you've baked on. This may take some work because this shortbread has baking powder in it, so the pieces will be a little bit bigger than when we first cut them out. And you can arrange them however you want. At a slant, you can do straight angle, however. Then, once they are arranged to your satisfaction, you will start gluing them down with the extra glaze. And you'll want to let them dry for at least an hour before disturbing them. We happen to do some mini ornaments too, so we arranged those amongst the holly leaves. And I think with treasures like these, your Christmas will be truly merry and bright.
Thank you for watching. This has been a Culinarily Speaking production, and Merry Christmas.